Nityananda Charitamrita, Chapter 8, The Deliverance of Jagāi and Madhai. One day Lord Caitanya ordered Nityananda and Haridas Thakur as follows. Suna Suna Nityananda Suna Haridas Savatra Amara Agyana Kara Prakash Prati Gade Gade Gija Kara E Bhiksha Bala Krishna Bhaja Krishna Krishna Kashika Iha Nahi Ana Bala Bina Baliba Dina Avasane Asi Amari Kahiba. Listen, listen Nityananda, listen Haridas. Go and preach my order everywhere. Beg everyone, chant Hare Krishna, worship Krishna, and learn the science of Krishna. Do not preach anything other than this. At the end of the day, come and report to me. If in spite of your begging, anyone refuses to accept your offer, I will come with the chakra to kill him. Hearing this command of Lord Caitanya, all Vaishnavas smiled. No one has the power to disobey the Lord's order. Ordered by the Lord, Lord Nityananda and Haridas departed. Nityananda Prabhu eternally carries the Lord's orders on his head. Anyone who doubts this is certainly a fool. Following the order of Lord Caitanya, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas went to each house in Nadia. They requested everyone to chant and sing the holy names of the Lord and worship Krishna. They instructed that Krishna is the life and soul and wealth of everyone. They said, "Dear brothers, attentively chant the holy names of Lord Kṛṣṇa." Dressed as sannyasis, they wandered all over Nadia, preaching Mahaprabhu's message to everyone. Whoever met them would immediately offer respects and invite them for lunch. Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur would beg only one thing: chant Hare Krishna, worship Krishna, and learn the topics of Krishna. After pleading with people in this way, the two would leave that place. All saintly persons were pleased by their requests. Hearing the wonderful topics from the mouths of these two lords, people would happily respond to it in their own way. Someone thought, "I will certainly follow their order." Another person considered, "These two have become mad due to their fault of chanting mantras." There were people who had been forbidden to enter Srivas Pandit's house while Lord Caitanya danced with his followers. As soon as Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur approached these people's houses, they would charge at them, shouting, "Beat them! Beat them! You have become crazy due to bad association." Those people would admonish, "And now you have come here to make us crazy?" Respected civilized people have become crazy because of Nimai Pandit. It seems that these two are spies of a thief. Some of them would say, in the guise of preaching, they are surveying each house. If they are saintly persons, then why are they acting like this? If they come again, we will take them to the authorities. Hearing such things, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur would simply laugh. They were not in the least afraid, because of the strength of Lord Caitanya's order. Both of them thus regularly visited every house to preach. In the evening, they would return to Viśvambhara and report their day's activities. One day, while preaching the message of Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas came across two drunkards that were brothers. They were plunderers and murderers, and addicted to wine and women. There was no end to their misdeeds. There was no sin they had not committed. Despite being born in a Brahmin family, they regularly ate beef and drank wine. They plundered people's wealth and set fire to their houses. Perpetually intoxicated, they roamed the streets of Nadia and severely beat whomever they caught. People watched them from a distance, not daring to come close. Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas thus arrived where these two brothers were attracting a crowd in a drunken state. They were sometimes very friendly towards each other, and at other times they would pull each other's hair in anger and abuse one another with filthy words. "We'll degrade the caste of the Brahmins of Nadia," they exclaimed, fully intoxicated from drinking wine. Their bodies were reservoirs of innumerable sins. However, they did not yet commit the sin of blaspheming Vaishnavas. Since they spent their days and nights in the company of other drunkards, there was no opportunity for them to commit an offense against Vaishnavas. Ye sabaya Vaishnava mindamatra haya sabha dharma takile otara haya kasha sanyasi sabaya yadi haya nindya karsima maja pera sabha ite se sabha adar sima maja pera niskriti achaye kona kale parachara chakara pati kabu nahi bale sastra padi yao karo karo buddhi nanasha. Wherever there is blaspheme of Vaishnavas, even in holy places, that place and the blasphemers will be destroyed. If there is blaspheme in the assembly of sannyasis, then such a gathering is worse than a den of drunkards. A drunkard can be delivered in the course of time, but there is no salvation for those who criticize a Vaishnava. Even after having studied the scriptures, such a blasphemer's intelligence will be ruined. Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas watched from a distance as the two drunkards punched each other and abused one another with filthy language. Nityananda asked some of the spectators, "What is the caste of these two? Why are they acting like this?" "Oh, Gosai, these two drunkards are Brahmanas," the people replied. "They were born of respected parents in a high-class family. Many of their forefathers resided in Nadia. In fact, there is not even a tinge of fault in their dynasty. Only these two gave up their social responsibilities to commit all kinds of sins. They have been acting in this way since childhood. Considering the two brothers most sinful, their family members rejected them. The people of Nadia are always afraid of them, because at any time they can set someone's house on fire. There are no sins these brothers have not committed. They rob, steal, kill, rape, eat meat, and drink wine. After hearing about these two drunkards, the most compassionate Nityananda Prabhu began to ponder their deliverance. Ataki tarite Prabhu kaye avatara e mata pataki pai benara lukaya kare Prabhu apana prakasha prabhava nadiki loke kara upahasha eduire Prabhu yadi anugraha kare tabe se prabhava teke sakala samsare tare hao Nityananda Caitanya radasa eduiyera karo yadi Caitanya prakasha edana yemana mata apana najane e mata hayayadi Śrī Kṛṣṇa name more Prabhu baliyadi kande dui jana tabe se sarataka poleyata prayayatana ye se jana edui yera chaya parasya Basrera Sahita Ganga Sanana Karegiya Se Sava Janayadi Edon Hare Deki Ganga Sana Henamane Tabe More Liki. Lord Caitanya has descended to deliver the fallen people of this age. Where will he find anyone more fallen than these two? The Lord has not yet revealed himself to the ordinary people. Not seeing his uncommon influence, they are ridiculing him. If the Lord bestows mercy on these two sinful drunkards, then the people of the entire world will see his transcendental glories. Being known as Nityananda, the servant of Lord Caitanya, will have meaning only if I can purify their hearts and deliver them. How wonderful it will be if they become intoxicated by chanting Krishna's names, the same way they are now intoxicated. If I can make these two take the Lord's name and cry, I will then consider all my travels to holy places a success. At present, whoever even touches the shadow of these two drunkards at once bathes in the Ganges with his clothes on. I will be extremely fortunate if I am able to get people to accept that simply seeing these drunkards is the same as bathing in the Ganges. The glories of Lord Nityananda are unlimited. He descended to save the fallen souls of this world. Thinking to deliver the two drunkards, Nityananda said to Haridas, "Just see how miserable these two drunkards are. They were born in a Brahmana family, but their behavior is most sinful. They will be unable to escape the most severe punishments of Yamaraj. Dear Haridas, the Muslims beat you so severely that you almost died. Still you desire the welfare of such people in your mind. If you really desire these drunkards' welfare in your heart, surely they will be delivered. The Lord never ignores your will. He has often confirmed this fact. let the people of the entire world see the uncommon influence of our Lord, by which he will deliver these two drunkards. Just as deliverance of Ajmil is described in the Puranas, let the people of the three worlds directly see how the Lord delivers these drunkards. Haridas was well acquainted with the glories of Lord Nityananda. He thought, he will certainly deliver these two drunkards. Haridas said to Nityananda Prabhu, "Listen, O Lord, whatever you desire is indeed the desire of Śrī Gaurāṅga Mahaprabhu. You deceive me just as a person deceives an animal. You always kindly teach me in that way." Smiling, Nityananda embraced Haridas and very gently said, "Let us go and repeat the Lord's order to these drunkards. The Lord commands everyone to worship Krishna. This is particularly fitting for those who are most sinful. Our duty is to simply repeat the Lord's orders. Even after repeating them, if they are not accepted, that is also the Lord's will." To impart the message of Lord Caitanya, both Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas went towards Jagāi and Madhai. Some pious people forbade them to go. "If you go near them, you may lose your lives," they warned. "We are very much afraid of these two drunkards. That is why we generally remain inside our houses. How can you dare go near them? These two do not care for sannyasis. In fact, they are accustomed to killing brahmanas and cows without discrimination." In spite of the warnings of many pious people, Nityananda and Haridas approached the two brothers while chanting, "Krishna, Krishna." Approaching them, Nityananda and Haridas loudly repeated the Lord's message to the two debauches. They said, "Bala Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Laha Krishna Nama, Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dana, Pranana." Chant Krishna, worship Krishna, and sing the glories of Krishna. Krishna is your mother, father, wealth, and life. Lord Krishna will mercifully deliver you. Please give up your sinful life and worship him. Upon hearing the loud voices of Nityananda and Haridas, the two drunkards raised their hands and looked around. Their eyes became red with anger. Seeing the sannyas features of Nityananda and Haridas, they began to chase them, screaming, "Catch them! Catch them!" Nityananda and Haridas quickly fled. The two drunkards chased them, yelling, "Wait! Wait!" Running behind Nityananda and Haridas, they are like a raging storm. The two lords ran away as if in great fear. All the pious people thought, "We tried to stop these two sannyasis from going near the drunkards. Now they are in great danger." However, the impious persons present there smiled and said, "Today, Lord Narayan has awarded fit punishment to these pseudo-sannyasis." The pious brahmanas prayed, "O Krishna, please save them. O Krishna, please save them." At this time, everyone ran away out of fear, and the two brothers, Jagāi and Madhai. They chased Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas, and the two lords ran as fast as they could. Although the drunkards shouted, "We have almost caught them," still they were unable to catch hold of Nityananda and Haridas. While running, Nityananda said to Haridas, "O Vaishnava Haridas, what do you think? If we survive today, it will be our good fortune." Haridas replied, "O Lord, what can I say? It is my entire fault that we will soon lose our lives. This is the result of trying to teach drunkards about Krishna. We will soon get our just rewards in the form of death." Speaking like this, both Nityananda and Haridas smiled as they ran. Because the two drunkards were fat, they were unable to run as swiftly as the two lords, even though they tried. They shouted, "Oh brothers, where are you going? How will you escape the grip of Jagāi and Madhai? You do not know who is chasing you. Turn around and see. We are Jagāi and Madhai." Feigning great fear, the two lords ran very swiftly while listening to the threats of the drunkards. They prayed, "O Kṛṣṇa, O Govinda, please save us." "I cannot run anymore," Haridas said. "Alas, why did I come with this mischievous Nityananda, even after knowing about his restless nature? Kṛṣṇa saved me before from the wrath of the Muslims, but now I am going to surely lose my life because of this mischievous person." Nityananda replied, "I am not restless. Think carefully, and you will see that it is your Lord Caitanya who is restless. Your Lord is but a simple Brahmana, yet he gives orders like a king. Only by his orders are we going door to door to preach his message. Although we carry out his orders, preaching door to door, so far we have not found anyone heeding our requests. In fact, people simply call us thieves, cheaters, and nothing else. If we do not follow his order, we will become ruined, and if we follow it, then this is the result. I know you will not find fault with your Lord, so ultimately it is I who am to blame." In this way, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas quarreled humorously while the two drunkards continued to chase. Finally, Nityananda and Haridas reached Lord Caitanya's house. Dulled by drinking wine, the two drunkards became confused and had lost sight of Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas. Being baffled, they began to push and pull one another. They were too intoxicated to understand where they were before, or how they had reached this place. When Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur looked back and did not see the two drunkards following them, they heaved a sigh of relief and embraced each other. Then they went to meet Lord Viśvambhara, who was sitting inside his house. He appeared very charming, his beauty conquering that of Cupid. The Lord was seated surrounded by many Vaishnavas, exclaiming the truth of himself to the assembly, just as Lord Narayan, the Lord of Svetadvip, had previously instructed great sages headed by Sanaka. In this way, Nityananda and Haridas arrived before the Lord to report their day's activities. They said, "Today we saw two drunkards who still claim to be Brahmanas. We politely asked them to chant the holy names of Kṛṣṇa, but they chased us in anger. We are fortunate to be alive." The Lord asked, "Who were these two drunkards? What are their names? Being Brahmanas, why are they acting in such a degraded manner?" Gangadas and Srivas Pandit, who were sitting in the assembly, described all the sinful activities committed by the drunkards. "O Lord, their names are Jagāi and Madhai," they said. "They are sons of pious Brahmanas, but due to bad association they have become exceedingly degraded. Indeed, they cannot live without wine for even a single day. The people of Nadia are very afraid of them. There is no house in Nadia where these two have not committed theft. There is no end to their sins. O Gosai, you must have seen them and know everything." Yes, I know them very well. If they come here, I will cut them both to pieces, Lord Caitanya replied. "You can do whatever you want, but as long as these two drunkards are around, I am not going to preach." Nityananda said, "Why do you needlessly brag about yourself? First, make them chant the names of Govinda. By nature, a pious person chants the holy names of Krishna. But these two drunkards do nothing but commit sinful activities. If you deliver these two drunkards by awarding them devotional service, then your reputation as the deliverer of the fallen souls will have meaning. Your glories were broadcast after delivering me, but your reputation will be enhanced to a much greater extent if you deliver these two fallen souls. These drunkards were already delivered the moment they had your darshan. Lord Viśvambhara smilingly replied, since you desire their ultimate welfare, Krishna will soon deliver them. Hearing this from the lotus mouth of the Lord, all the Vaishnavas chanted, Hari, Hari! The Lord's statement convinced everyone that these two drunkards would surely be saved. Haridas Thakur said to Advaita Acharya, the Lord sent me with this restless boy. I remain somewhere while he goes somewhere else. The Ganges is filled with crocodiles in the rainy season, but Nityananda sometimes tries to catch them while swimming. I loudly call out to warn him from the shore, but alas, he floats fearlessly on the water along with the crocodiles. When he comes out of the water, if he sees some of his friends, he chases them to beat them. When the parents of these boys come with sticks in their hands, I fall at their feet and beg pardon on his behalf. Sometimes he steals ghee and yogurt from cowherd men and runs away. These cowherd men then catch me and try to beat me instead of him. He does things he is not supposed to do. Whenever he sees an unmarried girl, he tells her, I will marry you. Sometimes he rides on the back of an ox and calls himself Mahadev. At other times, he milks others' cows and drinks the milk. If I try to teach him something, he scolds me. He boldly says, what can your Advaita Acharya do to me? He also says, what can your Caitanya, who you think is the Lord, do to me? I am not afraid of him. I never disclose these things to the Lord. Today, Providence saved us from an imminent danger. We saw two drunkards lying in a stupor on the street. Nityananda went before them, repeating the message of the Lord. With great anger, the two drunkards chased us to beat us. I think it is by your mercy alone that we were saved today. Advaita Acharya smilingly replied, this does not surprise me at all. A drunkard will naturally keep company with other drunkards. Three drunkards can nicely remain together. Being a strict celibate, why do you mingle with him? You will see how this Nityananda turns everyone into a drunkard. I know him very well. Just you wait and see. Within a few days he will bring those two drunkards to the assembly of devotees. While speaking this way, Advaita Acharya became somewhat agitated. In a grave voice he said, we will soon see Lord Caitanya's wonderful love and devotion towards Lord Kṛṣṇa become manifest, as well as his power to induce everyone to dance and chant for Krishna. Tomorrow Nimai and Itai will bring these two drunkards here and dance with them. Nimai and Nitai will not neglect them in consideration of their degraded condition. But I think you and I had better leave this place to safeguard our social prestige. Seeing Advaita Acharya's angry mood, Haridas Thakur began to laugh. He was convinced that without a doubt the two drunkards would soon be delivered. Who can understand the words of Advaita Acharya? Only Haridas Prabhu understood their meaning. Nowadays, so many sinful persons take shelter of Advaita Acharya and criticize Gadadhar Pandit. Thus, they were soon vanquished. A sinful person who takes the side of one Vaishnava while criticizing another will surely be destroyed. The two drunkards, Jagāi and Madhai, wandered all over Navadvip. One day, they came to the bathing ghat at the Ganges where Lord Caitanya usually bathed. By the will of Providence, the drunkards made their camp at that ghat. During the day, they would wander around Navadvip searching for their prey. All the people, including highly respectable, rich, and famous artisans, were very afraid of them. After dusk, no one dared go to the Ganges to bathe. If someone went, he would go with a group of 10 or 20 men. At night, the two drunkards stayed near the Lord's house, and thus remained awake all night, hearing the sounds of kirtan. As the mridangas and kartals sounded during kirtan, the two drunkards would happily dance. They could hear the kirtan from far away. As soon as they heard the sacred sounds of kirtan, they would dance and drink more wine. Whenever kirtan began, they got up and danced. Wine bewildered their intelligence so much, to such a degree, that they never knew where they had just been, nor did they consider where they would go next. Whenever Jagāi and Madhai met the Lord at the ghat, they said, "Nimai Pandit, did you finish singing your prayers to Goddess Durga? You all sing very nicely, and so we like to hear you. We will give you everything we collect during the day." The Lord stayed aloof from them, knowing them to be the most sinful. Everyone else also avoided them. One day, after traveling around Nadia, as Nityananda Prabhu returned home in the evening, he was suddenly confronted by the two brothers, Jagāi and Madhai. They screamed, "Who are you?" "I'm going to Lord Chaitanya's house," Nityananda Prabhu replied. Intoxicated as usual, they asked Lord Nityananda, What is your name?" "My name is Avaduta," Nityananda replied. Absorbed in the mood of a child as one of his sweet pastimes, Nityananda Prabhu began conversing with the two drunkards. He had already decided to deliver these two fallen souls, and so he had purposefully come to their place. Hearing the name Avaduta, Madhai became extremely angry. He picked up his clay pitcher and struck Lord Nityananda on the head. As the wound on his head bled, Nityananda Prabhu simply remembered Lord Govinda. Seeing Nityananda's bleeding head, Jagāi became compassionate and so forbade Madhai from hitting him again. "Why did you do such a cruel thing?" Jagāi said. "What will you gain by killing a beggar? Leave him. It is not good to kill a sannyasi." People quickly went and informed Lord Caitanya of this incident. The Lord instantly rushed to that spot along with his associates. Blood flowed from Lord Nityananda's head, but he simply smiled while standing between the two sinners. Seeing blood on Nityananda Prabhu's head, Lord Caitanya began to invoke his Sudarshan chakra. Jagāi and Madhai saw the Sudarshan chakra instantly come before them. At this time, all the devotees became bewildered in mind, Seeing the mood of Lord Caitanya, Nityananda Prabhu implored, "O Lord, when Madhai tried to hit me a second time, Jagāi restrained him. Although I am bleeding a little, I do not feel any pain. O Lord, I beg that you please give me these two souls as alms. Kindly give up your anger." When Lord Caitanya heard that Jagāi had spared Nityananda Prabhu, he became pleased with him and embraced him. The Lord said to Jagāi, "May Krishna be merciful to you. You have purchased me by rescuing Nityananda. Ask for any benediction according to your desire. From today you will achieve loving devotional service to the Lord." When the Vaishnavas heard the Lord's benediction upon Jagāi, they jubilantly chanted, "All glories to Lord Hari." As soon as the Lord awarded pure devotional service to Jagāi, he at once fell senseless onto the ground. "Jagāi, get up and look at me. Get up, look at me," the Lord said. "I have awarded you love and devotion for Lord Kṛṣṇa." Jagāi then saw the beautiful four-armed form of Lord Viśvambhara, holding a conch, disc, club, and lotus. Seeing this form of Lord Caitanya, Jagāi again fell senseless onto the ground. Śrī Gaurāṅga then placed his lotus feet on Jagāi's chest, so that he obtained the treasure that is the life and soul of Lakṣmī. Jagāi caught hold of those invaluable jewels that were placed upon his chest. Holding the Lord's lotus feet, Jagāi began to cry. Such is the wonderful pastimes of Śrī Gaurāṅga. Jagāi and Madhai were one, but they had appeared in two different bodies. Their piety and sins were also one. As soon as the Lord bestowed mercy upon Jagāi, Madhai's heart became purified. With folded hands, he fell at the Lord Caitanya's lotus feet and said, "O Lord, both Jagāi and I committed sins together. Why then do you discriminate while giving your mercy? Please be merciful to me, and I will surely chant your holy names. There is no one else in the world that can save me. I see no hope for your salvation," the Lord said. "You dared to strike Nityananda's body, making it bleed." "O Lord, please do not say this," Madhai sorrowfully replied. "Why are you covering your merciful nature? When demons released arrows at you, why did you still give them shelter at your lotus feet?" "Your offense is much graver because you made Nityananda bleed," the Lord said. "Actually, Nityananda is far greater than I. I declare this to be the truth. O Lord, if you have indeed told me the truth, then please tell me how I can be saved. You are the crest jewel among physicians, expert in curing all diseases. Only if you cure me will my disease be removed. O Lord of the universe, please do not cheat me. Now I know who you are, and so please give up your pretense. You committed a grave offense at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda," the Lord said. "Now you must fall at his lotus feet and beg for his pardon." Thus ordered by the Lord, Madhai went and caught hold of the invaluable wealth that is Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. The wealth that is the property of the Rebati. Viśvambhara said to Nityananda Prabhu, "Listen, Nityananda. It is proper that if someone falls at your lotus feet, you should be merciful to him. Because Madhai made you bleed, only you can forgive him. Now he has surrendered unto you. O Lord, what can I say? Nityananda replied. You can bestow mercy to anyone, even a tree. If I have any piety amassed from previous births, I will give it all to Madhai. I am telling you the truth. I do not care for the offenses he has committed. O Lord, please remove your illusory energy and be merciful. This Madhai belongs to you. If you have indeed forgiven all his offenses, then please embrace him so his life will be successful. Viśvambhara said. As instructed by the Lord, Nityananda tightly embraced Madhai so that his material bondage and mass of sins were at once destroyed. Nityananda Prabhu entered the body of Madhai so that he became fully empowered with all the energies of the Lord. In this way, both Jagāi and Madhai were delivered. They then offered prayers at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya and Nityananda Prabhu. Śrī Gaurāṅga Mahaprabhu then commanded them, sin no more. Dear Father, no more, not again. Jagāi and Madhai replied. Listen, both of you, the Lord continued. I have indeed saved you from all your sinful reactions. If you do not sin again, then I will destroy all your sinful reactions for millions of births. This is my responsibility. I will eat offerings in your mouths and incarnate through your bodies. While hearing these words from the Lord, both Jagāi and Madhai fell unconscious to the ground in ecstasy. Their illusions thus removed, they floated in an ocean of happiness. The all-knowing Lord instructed his followers, take these two brothers to my house. Tonight we will perform kirtan with them. I will reward these two with what even Lord Brahma rarely attains. I will transform them into the foremost of persons in this world. The same people who took bath in the Ganges after touching these brothers will now say that they are as good as the Ganges. Nityananda's promise never goes in vain. Know that this is indeed the desire of Nityananda Prabhu. The Vaishnavas carefully escorted Jagāi and Madhai to the house of the Lord. When all the associates and relatives of the Lord came inside, they closed the door, allowing no outsiders to enter. Mahaprabhu Viśvambhara sat in the middle, and Nityananda Prabhu sat to his right, while Gadadhar Pandit sat to his left. Advaita Acharya, the greatest recipient of the Lord's mercy, sat in the front of the Lord. All the Vaishnavas, headed by Pundarika, Vidyanidhi, Garuda, Ramai, Srivas, and Gangadas, sat surrounding their lordships. Also present were Vakrasvara Pandit and Chandrasekhar Acharya. Both of them knew very well the mission of Lord Caitanya. Many other devotees sat around Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, floating in the ocean of bliss. Along with Jagāi and Madhai, symptoms of ecstatic love, including standing of the hair on end, shedding of tears, and trembling of the body, were visible in all their bodies. Both Jagāi and Madhai continuously rolled on the ground. Who could understand the intention of Lord Caitanya? He transformed the two notorious plunderers into exalted devotees. These two are no longer drunkards, the Lord said to the devotees. From now on they are my servants. All of you please bestow mercy on these two so that they may never forget me, life after life. In whatever way you may have been offended by them, forgive them and bestow your mercy upon them." After hearing these words of the Lord, Jagāi and Madhai fell at the feet of all the assembled Vaishnavas and begged their pardon. All the great devotees then blessed Jagāi and Madhai, who were thus instantly freed from all their offenses. "Please get up, Jagāi and Madhai," the Lord said. "Do not worry. From now on you are my servants. Personally, I will no longer consider their offenses," the Lord said to the devotees. "No one should think of them as sinful anymore. Such an act as this is never possible in one lifetime. Know for certain that this was done by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Actually, I have personally accepted all their sinful reactions. My dear brothers, you can directly see the proof of this. To convince everyone of this fact, the golden body of the Lord immediately turned black, converting the two plunderers and drunkards into pure devotees. Lord Śrī Gaurāṅga, who is non-different from Lord Hari, began to dance along with his associates. In this way, Śrī Gaurāchandra, the life and soul of the universe, delivered Jagāi and Madhai. Śrī Gaurāchandra will certainly deliver whoever hears of the salvation of Jagāi and Madhai. Accepting Śrī Caitanya Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All glories to Śrī Guru and Gaurāṅga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.